Good morning, or yeah? Good morning. Okay.
She's like, okay, everybody welcome.
Sorry guys, it has been an early morning. Good morning, welcome to Everyday People, the Pacifica chapter. I am Crystal Tafalele.
And I'm Lynn Katoa. Welcome to our show.
Welcome, welcome. We have a great show with our special guest today, Jake Fitisemanu.
Hello.
We're so excited to have him here. He is not new here at Everyday People. He's actually been here with us on a previous show that you can catch on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So make sure that you go back there, rewatch that first episode with Jake. When we interviewed you, that was like while you were like campaigning, right?
That's right, yeah.
So here we are now with him in the seat again.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. If you don't know who Jake is, he's a House of Representative up on the Hill for District 30, right?
That's right, yeah.
Where he was a city councilman for several years, 7 or more years, I believe, and now he has a seat at the table representing not just his little city or his city, but now the whole state of Utah. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you so
Jake.
much.
Thank you for making some time to join us.
Of course.
So let's just get right into it. Just real quick, just give us your background, who your parents are. We know that you were born in New Zealand, to Samoan, and to, what was the other half?
Yeah, my dad is Pali'i Jacob Fitisemanu from Falefa and Lepea. My mom is Karen Junlin Dang from Kaimuki, Hawaii, and our roots are on her side are from Hong Kong and Korea.
Wow.
Love it.
So both sides, loving both sides. Okay, so now that you have a seat at the table, kind of just take us through that process from the last time that we met. Now that you're in the seat, what has changed? Are there any feelings that have changed as far as politics go?
Oh my goodness. It's, politics is the full roller coaster of human emotions, right?
Yeah.
And so, the last time we talked here, I was in campaign mode,
Right.
fundraising mode, just trying to get my name out there, get people to vote for me. And now being in office, there's that added level. On the one hand, there's a relief, right? Like, what an honor that
Yeah.
I was selected by
Definitely.
my community. But there's also an added layer of pressure now that we got to get the work done, right?
Right.
All the things we talked about during the campaign, we have to move the needle on those things, or else this really wasn't worth anything.
Right.
Exactly. So where you're saying, so now that you're in this role, are you getting any like kickback from anybody in the Polynesian community, from your peers, now that you're doing the work? You know, like, are there any?
Or are they just kind of giving you their opinions more
Right.
now, like openly,
All of it,
or has
all
it
of it.
always been?
I think the response has been overall positive.
Okay.
I mean, when there are critiques, it's usually coming from a good place.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't just complain because they want to complain. It's because they want improvements. They want things to be better. And so I welcome all of the feedback, whether it's quote unquote positive or negative. Those are the things that we need to hear. I feel like
Right.
the job of a representative is literally to represent,
Right.
And if we don't hear from the people, we can't go up to Capitol Hill and pretend like we know what people care about,
Right.
or what people want. We have to hear from them. Sometimes it's not always fun, but we do have to hear all those opinions.
Well, because it comes with the good and the bad,
Absolutely.
you know, so.
Do you feel because you're a politician that you're hearing more? I mean, you said you don't hear too much, but when you hear from people, do you feel like it's only when they are trying to bring something to the table, like it's only a negative?
For sure. The squeaky wheel doesn't get fixed,
Right.
The quiet mouth doesn't get fed. There are all
Right.
those things. We don't really bring things up unless there's an issue, right?
Yeah,
If things
right.
are smooth, we're just going to keep playing like it's all good. When things aren't smooth is when we're going to speak up. And those are, especially those are the voices that we need to be hearing from, because we're here to fix problems.
Right.
And so it's interesting, though, sometimes I might have a good idea that I think is a good policy. Some people will come and say, yeah, we support that. That's awesome. And other people will say, that doesn't even go far enough. Like, you need to
Right.
ramp that up even further. And then you got the people who are like, absolutely not,
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
opposed.
It's never enough.
If
Never
you do
enough.
this, you're un-American and you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
You hate America.
so navigating all those different opinions, because at the end of the day, it comes to a yes vote or a no vote.
Right.
Right.
And it's so hard
There's no in
to
between.
take all the nuances and all those
Because you're
little
always going to hear
details.
noise in the background.
Correct.
Right.
Regardless.
So that's important to me, though, whether I vote yes, whether I vote no, that I have a solid explanation, so that when people ask me, bro, why did you support that?
Yeah.
Or I never imagined that you would oppose that. If I'm at least able to articulate to people, look, these are the details and the nuances. This is the reason why I voted this way. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Right? Even if we have a different opinion,
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly why I voted the way I did. And then let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And on that note, have any relationships changed since you've been in this new role and like trying to like propose new bills, getting new bills passed? Has any relationships in your personal life and business life kind of changed or shifted?
That's a great question. And now that I think about it, I don't think that they've changed necessarily in that like, oh, I don't hang out with those people anymore or those people don't call me anymore. I think it's increased the relationships that I now have. And so there are now so many more people that have reached out to me.
Both good and bad? Or,
Correct.
Right.
Both good and bad. But there's now just more opportunities for those discussions. But I feel like at least relationships with my friends, my relatives, supporters, and others, pretty much the same.
Right.
The same things we fought about before.
Right. We still fighting.
And the same
fighting.
same things we agree about before.
They get the old Jake when the doors are closed, right?
There's no room to act brand new now.
There is no room to act brand new now. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. So now that you're with the other Pacific Islanders who were in the same position that you are, so how's that relationship? Do you guys discuss amongst each other like different bills on opposing sides, and how does that work?
It's fascinating, yep. And having Representative Doug Fiafia and Representative Verona Sangatumaunga,
Right.
To be there and for all of us to be going through this experience as first-time elected state
I just got the
representatives
chills. That is
all
amazing.
together
And 3.
is
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. Even though we say, yeah, Doug's on the other side of the aisle, me and Verona are on this side. In reality, we all come from the same families, right? We all have these connections in community. We were all raised with the same kinds of cultural values.
Yep.
And so even if we have differences of political opinion, there's still that space where we can come together and at least talk,
Right.
like cousin to cousin, brother to sister. And I don't have that same relationship with a lot of the other representatives just
Right.
because we don't have that same context.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's funner to disagree with somebody who you have things in common with,
Yeah.
right? It's
To
easier
understand
to
the
do
bigger
that.
picture and
Right.
the process.
It's like, yes, we're going to disagree on this. We're going to vote differently on this, but we still have something that we share in
Yeah.
common and so many other things that we have in common that makes it, that just builds the relationship so much stronger.
It's just friends having a conversation that's
Correct.
a different perspective. I love that gives us representation on both sides.
Yeah.
For those people that are, Democrat or Republican, I
right.
love just having our faces represented there.
And I think as long as people are having the conversations like you're saying, you know what I mean? So people can understand more, search for more resources and tools to understand
Yes.
it better. Because nowadays, like we all have our own opinions on the administration and stuff, which is fair. But there's one thing that like I would always get really, really angry when I watch the news or when I hear someone else's opinion, like, well, I did what's best for my family.
Yeah.
But then you automatically go into defense mode. I'm like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm experiencing something different in my life, so I kind of had to step back. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Not be so angry, but just try to understand it. I may not agree, you know what I mean? But at least we're having that conversation. I feel nowadays with the representation that we have, that those conversations are being had.
Totally.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
is-
and that's just great. I think it's just great to see our faces. Like,
Yes.
like you said, the familiarity between you guys, that common ground. Like, I think it makes people also just feel more comfortable to ask questions,
Right.
to ask the questions about it, because now they have a Samoan over there, they have a Tongan. Like, it's just like, okay, it's okay to know a little bit more about politics. It's okay to look more into this information.
It's
So-
okay to have an opinion.
Yeah,
and
it's okay to not be on the
Right.
same side. Like,
Correct.
but we don't have to be in an argument about everything
Yeah.
because of these sides.
It's a blessing. It's an advantage as a community to have representatives on both sides of the aisle because there are certain things that Representative Doug Fiafia can push for us and do for us that maybe me and Verona might not be as comfortable doing just from a personal, political stance.
Right.
And other things that, me and Verona can definitely be in front of the microphone, in front of the camera, be very outspoken about promoting issues for certain sections of our community,
Yeah.
subpopulations, that maybe folks on a more conservative lens would not be as comfortable doing. So
Right.
it is an advantage. Like we talk about, or we might focus on the disagreements that we may have, but the fact that we have representation on both sides of the aisle is a huge advantage for the community.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's something that should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
You can still feel the same energy that you had when you were on your campaign trail. So it's genuine and I just love it. Your energy is amazing and I support you 100%. So when you're a long day at work, do you just shut off and you just keep everything at work, or does it ever spill into home, to your home life with your 2 kids?
The commute is my therapy. And so my drive into work and my drive home from work, I get 20 to 30 minutes of just myself in the car. I can bump my music. Whatever the mood is,
Well, okay.
I can decompress.
What is music you'd be bumping?
Yeah.
What kind of decompression?
Yeah, what gets
music?
Jay
Does
going in the car on the
start his
freeway
day
like
with?
pow?
It's always gonna be that reggae. And,
I love it.
Old roots reggae,
Yup.
Bernie Spear, Black Uhuru, that stuff that's my jam. But if it was a rough day at work, I can take that 20, 30 minutes by myself, decompress, before I walk into my front door, say hi to my wife and kids. And
Yeah.
so that commute, I value. That's a blessing to me every day. It also preps me going into work.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming
Get
from
your
my
brain right.
comfortable home in this
Right,
community
get the
that I
energy
love, where I'm
going,
supported,
right.
prepping for battle almost,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes we got to get into that zone, in that mode. And so, yeah. And I also I try to listen to both sides on the radio. So usually when I'm going into work, I need to be in a good mood. So that's my NPR.
Yeah.
That's my
Right.
Utah Public Radio. And on the way home, sometimes I do dip into that other side, you
Yeah.
know, talk radio and listen to conservative talk shows. And I got to get information.
Well, you
from
want
both.
to be
Right.
aware of what's going on and what the rumors are, what people are
Totally.
speaking on.
Yeah.
But speaking of community, I want to kind of touch back to the community here in Salt Lake City or in Utah in general with the Pacific Islanders. Because there's a lot going on, you know, and they're split half and half.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of wondering, like, with you, Verona, and Doug, what does that conversation look like? Because we are so split, because you have a lot of polys who are so ride or die
Yeah.
for Trump, and then the other side who's totally polar opposite.
Totally.
So what are those conversations like, and what are you guys doing to kind of like calm our people down, and what are things that we need to know or we should be scared of, or things that we should be looking forward to see?
Yeah.
Or is that something that you guys discuss
Right.
about trying to make sure our people are not at, odds with each other based on, their opinions?
Totally. I love the question because I think it is important to know, for our people to know, our community to know, that the three of us hang out. So we go to lunch.
That's
we
good.
actually do talk outside of the work we do in Capitol Hill, because this work extends into all aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
And so we're friends, colleagues, and partners outside of the work and inside of the work. And those conversations can get weird. We know what our boundaries
Yeah.
are, right?
Right.
We know the issues that we are not going to align on, but that's not necessarily what we focus on. We do actually have an Asian and Pacific Islander caucus in the House of Representatives and the Senate. And while most of us are on the Democrat side, Doug Fiafia does attend the meetings and he does participate. And that shows really great commitment on his side, because I'm sure he probably takes some hits, from
for
his
sure.
side, saying, why are you hanging out with them?
Yeah.
But I do believe that we all believe strongly that the community and our families and our neighborhoods, we hold those above any of these other divisions. And
But I
so-
feel like when our people see that, I'm like, oh, well, if they're doing it and they're
Yeah.
at that level, that political level, we should be able
They're
to have that open
literally
mind
right there.
and
Yeah.
have those
Absolutely.
types of conversations as well.
I think there are things that we're going to strongly disagree about and never agree about. That's fine. But there are also 99 other things around us that we are going to agree about.
Yeah.
And
Right.
those are the things that we should be focusing on.
Is there anything out there that our Pacific Islander people here in Utah should know, what we should prepare for, or resources and tools that they can look up online, just to be informed?
Yeah, all of the people down here that are just looking for you guys to
Right.
give us that information.
One thing I would encourage folks to look up online is our Utah Pacific Islander Civic Engagement Coalition. This is a group that's been running for over a decade. It's a bipartisan group. I mean, it was started by guys like Marcus Jessup, right, who's a leader in the Republican Party, and our, beloved, rest in peace, late great Margarita Sattini, right?
Yes.
You couldn't get more left than she was.
Right.
And those two and
Shout
their
to the
homies,
left, to the left.
exactly.
I think Beyonce wrote that song
Right.
for her.
And so the fact that these two individuals and our colleagues, right, came together to say, like, look, we need to get our people registered to vote. We need to inform people on how to engage in the process. And that work has been going on for over a decade now. That group is still very active. So if you're looking to volunteer or you're just looking for information, reach out to them because they're in the community. It's a nonpartisan, nonprofit group. So they're really just here to serve everybody.
That's a good place to start then.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I love that.
Now, speaking of all of that, let's get into AAPI month.
Yes,
We
it is
are here.
AAPI month. Happy
Yes.
May. So who better to have here?
I know.
Who can represent both sides?
Yeah, exactly. The literal representation of AAPI month.
The ultimate Asian and Pacific Islander vibe right here.
Well, before we start that real quick, kind of just take us, because you were in DC, right?
Yeah.
So representing there, kind of take us through that real quick and what you were doing there and what it was all about, just so our people know that Jake is everywhere and he's working hard for the
he
people.
just got back, guys.
I'm one guy on a team but does happen to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Every May, most of our national organizations that say they serve Asians and Pacific Islanders typically get together this week. So you have like the National ACE, which is the Asian and Pacific Chambers of Commerce, APEX, which is the Asian and Pacific Congressional Studies Group, the Asian Pacific Islander Health Forum. So you have all of these national organizations that tend to come together during this week and have all these events. And so
These are people from all over the country
Correct.
that represent?
Okay.
Yep. And so we do have a contingency from Utah that I know, and I saw a few of them up there this week as well, doing their thing, representing the people, bringing back resources from federal agencies and national partners as well. And so, it's 99% Asians, right?
Right.
And 1% Pacific Islanders, if that. But it is definitely a strong opportunity for us to engage with other organizations, other agencies that are doing the work, and try to make sure that our voice is heard a little more every year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I only wanted to bring that up because we had a conversation earlier that the representation was more on the Asian side.
Absolutely.
You know, so now that we're celebrating AAPI month, the month of May, you know, and I just learned from Leroy that Utah has their very own Pacific Islander month in August.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it might just be me. So my bad. But if you did not know,
I didn't know
Utah,
either.
I think it's just Utah, right, that has their own
That's right.
Pacific Islander month, the month of August. So we'll be sure to celebrate that as well. But now that you were in DC, the representation was more on the Asian side. What are your thoughts about AAPI? Because I know there's a lot of controversy that are out there where a lot of polys are dropped at PI, and there's a lot of valid points to it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So now you being a politician that represents both sides
And seeing it
and
firsthand.
seeing it
and being
firsthand
there.
on a higher level.
Totally.
What are your thoughts on that? And just so our people can know what you think, and maybe they can get a different perspective.
The dynamic of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders being lumped together in one category
Right.
is super problematic. And maybe decades ago when that was done, maybe it was for reasons of convenience, or maybe there was some kind of beneficial reason to do it.
Right.
But today we have a critical mass of our own people. The U.S. Census Bureau, the federal government, disaggregates or separates Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders for reasons of data collection in the census. We have our own categories, etc. But that has not trickled down to everyday life. So you'll still fill out a lot of applications or forms today. It'll say Asian/Pacific Islander.
Right.
Right.
It's convenient, yes, but it's not doing anybody any favors
Right.
because
Right.
we're two very different communities.
Yeah.
And even within those labels, there's lots of diversity and lots of difference within those labels as well. And so
Just lumped into one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
box.
a huge mass.
Right,
That
to check off
literally
a box.
is.
Yeah.
right? You have Native Hawaiians who used to be an independent nation who are now citizens of the United States and have been for a long time versus folks who just arrived to West Valley yesterday from the Marshall Islands, right? The spectrum of people that we're trying to represent
large.
Yes.
is so great. And so it is frustrating, and I've served on boards of directors for organizations like the Asian Pacific Islander Health Forum and other organizations like that, where they say in the name of the organization, even in the mission of the organization, that it's to serve Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. But then when you actually look at the organizations, they don't have any Pacific Islanders on staff, they don't have any Pacific Islander programming, they don't have
Right.
direct grants or funding allocated
On
for
panels.
Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
That's disingenuous, okay?
Yes.
So there are organizations like OCA Utah is a really great example here that does a great job, right? That has Pacific Islanders integrated in leadership positions, that have all kinds, it's integrated, right? I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna say that you serve Asian Americans
Right.
and Pacific Islanders, you best be serving
Serving
Pacific
us.
Islanders.
Right.
Exactly.
If not, just say you're serving Asian Americans. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a preference, it's a focus. Right?
Right.
You're focusing. There's nothing wrong with focusing on specific populations, but we have to do that in a
Why do you think that
genuine way.
is? Why do you think that the Asians are getting more heard, I guess, than the Pacific Islander people?
It's a good question, and it's a numbers game, right? In the United States, we have 1.5 million Pacific Islanders. That's our total population.
Oh, I did not know that.
The Asian American population is 20 times bigger than that, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's like if you had a jar of
So
M&Ms.
we are a small
very tiny
percentage, and that's why
percentage.
they don't
So we get
see
treated
it.
that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just trying to get proportional representation is
Or even
right.
move it up an inch to kind of show
Totally.
that there's progress.
Right. We say Asian American and Pacific Islander as if they're the same,
Right.
proportion, but it's really not. It's like having a jar full of red M&Ms and let's throw in a couple of blue M&Ms.
So how do we
Right.
fix that? What can we do? What can the community do to make our voices be heard? So we try to fix. I'm sure
Is it
it's not going to happen
because
overnight.
We just have to have more numbers before they're going to look at us, or we just have to have more people out there actually pushing for us?
Getting involved.
A little
Like-
bit of both.
Okay.
And I would say one of the biggest things we can do as a community is always push for disaggregation. That's a nerd word that just means separation, right? And so whenever you do fill out a form, like you sign your kids up for something,
Right.
maybe at school, or you fill out a form at the clinic or the hospital. Anytime you see that space that says Asian /
Right.
Pacific Islander in the same category, we need to raise our hand and say like, this isn't right. Right?
Okay.
That is something that we can do as a community and reach out to the school or reach out to whatever that organization is and say,
So go
Whoever
directly to
has
the
that
organization.
form,
Correct.
whoever, yeah, okay.
and if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, right, reach out to the Civic Engagement Coalition or other organizations in the community, PICTAR, NTAS, whoever you happen to work with, and say like, hey, I noticed this. I'm not being counted correctly.
Right.
How can we change this, right?
Yeah.
And so folks like Auntie Charlene Louie helped us do that in the education space. Folks who work with the health department helped us do that here in the Utah Department of Health, so that we are actually being counted and
Right.
not lumped together
Right.
with people. We wouldn't have a category that says white/black, right?
Right.
Nobody would think that that's normal, but so
Right.
then why would they do that to us,
Yeah.
I
right?
wonder if you just like click on the other box and then write in Tongan.
You totally could, but then you get
Or
classified as
As
other.
other,
Right?
right.
Oh, really?
And so we're also not counted in that category. So to your point, right, being visible means being counted. And
Yes.
as long as we're being lumped together with other
Yeah.
communities or as a other category,
Right.
Yeah.
I
we're
didn't
not,
think about
we're
that.
not being counted.
God, there's so much that goes into this
So
that I would
much.
not have known, and that a lot of our community are unaware of.
Yeah.
You know,
that
so
we're
it's just
not considering.
right that we're not
yeah.
considering, because we're also learning, because I think nowadays our representations reached a higher level that we're being noticed, and nowadays our younger generation, they're very vocal.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think with social media, like
Yeah.
they need to do a little more research before they start being active. But one of my most annoying things ever is someone who is so like into politics but doesn't vote.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like have several seats, you know what I mean? But let's have a conversation or be open to it, because right now, when you're having a conversation on the opposing party, it never gets anywhere.
Yeah.
Because people are
Right.
so hard-headed, they're very and we are passionate people.
Totally.
You know, so anyways, that's another show.
That's another show for another day. Oh my god.
That's another show, another day. But we know that we probably only have a few minutes
Yeah,
left because
we
you're a
only have
busy man. But is there anything that you like our people to know that we should be aware of, or events that are coming
Yeah, that
up
we wanna
that we
share
should
with our
be?
community.
Totally. I do want to plug the last week of this month is our first Utah Wayfinding Week. And so because we're far away from the ocean and a lot of those themes about navigation and voyaging and the canoes, we wanted to bring some of that flavor here to Utah. So we're actually, if you check out saili.org is the website that will give you a whole schedule of events that are going on. We're bringing in apprentice navigators from Hawaii. The captain of the Ngawalofa, the Samoan Voyaging Society, is going to be here. They're going to teach us about the stars and how our ancestors ancestors found their way around. And then we also have a story slam with some awesome local speakers. Jakey Ciolo is going to be doing a story. We got all kinds of folks there lined up. A whole bunch of community events that we hope you'll come and support. Bring the families and enjoy. We're going to be learning about wayfinding past, present, and future.
We love that. That's a great way to wrap up AAPI month. So you guys come out there, support them, find that information online.
Yes,
and go out there.
Another quick question. Do you think PI should be taken off AAPI?
I think organizations that serve Asians and Pacific Islanders are genuine and sincere about it and actually have staffing and funding to support that. I don't have any problem with that. Organizations that aren't serving our communities should serve those communities that they really do want to focus on.
Right.
I love that. And I only asked that as the last question because you do represent both sides, and I want everybody to know that.
Absolutely.
But we are so grateful to have you on the show
Thank
with us.
you so much.
Again, make sure that you rewatch the first episode on our YouTube channel at Everyday People, the Pacifica chapter. We're so proud of you, Verona, Doug, everybody's out there that's putting in the work for all of us.
Yes.
Because we know that our voices aren't falling on deaf ears, and we're just so appreciative of having you on the show again. And I'm sure we'll have you back.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for raising the consciousness of our community.
I agree.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Once again, thank Jake for being with us here on the show. He's got to get out of here because he's a busy, busy man. But Chris and I will be back, so we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Stay tuned.
That's right.
Baby girl done got me in the mood and now I'm back again. I'm feeling myself duped up too smooth. Got me feeling like a champion. And every time I feel body, girl, my mind can't take control. Control of my actions, your attractions got me want to explore. The way that your body dripping right. Two slipping on the floor, we out tonight. Confidence, baby girl, shoot out the lights. Whatever you say, girl, I'll abide. Be sure that you're ready by 6:30, girl. I'll swoop you up. No running on me, girl, trust in me, cause I can feel your love. I know my baby, cause she love me, love me, love me. In the morning time, she take me, take me, take me. I know she love it when I sing it to sing a melody. Every time I come around, round, round, round. Mercy, mercy, mercy. She gonna get naughty, naughty, naughty. We gon' tryna bring it party, party, party. We only smoke the senses, senses, senses. Oh Lord, have mercy, mercy, mercy. She gonna get naughty, naughty, naughty. We gon' tryna party, party, party. We only smoke the senses, senses, senses. Ooh, Lord have mercy. You with all of your girlfriends that don't deter me. I took you by the hand, I didn't wanna hurt me. They getting mad cause they see it's getting dirty. And I ain't mad cause you said it don't concern me. We only met tonight, but will you marry me? Cause everything you're doing is only reassuring me. See, everything I do for you is common courtesy.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to Everyday People, the Pacifica chapter. I'm your co-host, Lynn Catoa.
And I'm Crystal Dalfalele.
All right, let's try that one more time. I have my mic off. Welcome back to Everyday People, the Pacifica chapter. I'm your co-host, Lynn Catoa, along here with my beautiful better half.
Crystal Dalfalele.
That's right. If you're just joining us, we have the amazing Jake Fitisemanu, House of Representative for District 30, was here with us the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that part, make sure that you rewatch the show on our Facebook and then on our YouTube channel.
Yes, before it gets deleted off of Facebook after.
Right? And we were talking about the question of the hour, AAPI.
Should it just be AA and a different PI month?
Well, it depends on which AA you're talking about.
Right.
No, but what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I love that Utah has a PI month. The Polynesian
Isn't that amazing?
month. I think that's amazing. So my thoughts are the AAPI month, if they took off the PI, would we be enough to get a PI month though?
Right, to make our voices heard.
Right.
We're no experts on it, but we're just
the way he was talking about our percentage-wise towards it, which is understandable, that is a huge community, and then for us being such a small community compared to this big one.
Well, now that he put it that way to make us under, right.
Right, so then I feel like if we did take that off, then would we just be discarded altogether because we're so small, we wouldn't stand as our own month?
Are you asking me that question?
No, just asking it to the universe.
Why are you looking at me asking the question? And I'm like,
no, that's how I feel like with the question about would you take it off? I wouldn't take it off if it means we can completely get forgotten.
Right, and then we like go back 10 steps.
Right, exactly, to me. But I do appreciate having Jake, Fitisemanu, Verona, and Doug as a representation. That to me shows progress for us.
Right.
As our representation increases, I feel like more people may fill out the census. Maybe
Especially
more
like
people
we
may
have
be counted,
him, right?
Like, you know what I mean?
He represents both sides, so they get that
Yeah.
information from him. He totally gets it, understands it on even a higher level than the level that he's on now.
Exactly.
Right.
And Polynesians just, I feel like we feel more safe, or like we feel like it's a safe space for us to start learning more about, you know,
Right.
politics or anything like that that do have to do with us in our everyday life. Where
When did you
know,
get into politics?
Never.
Why are you yelling?
I never get into politics, but I
said
only don't
never.
get into
I'm like-
politics because I don't like the tension between people having different feelings. Like, to me, I think people are free to have your feelings, and that doesn't that doesn't hurt me because that's your perspective. I respect you have a perspective of how those things affect you. Things may not affect me the same, so I can't hold the same anger or thoughts or anything like that if that's not how I saw things happening. Not saying that I don't take like an understanding of people's position on things. That's not. But I don't like the conversations when they get like where people can't understand that people.
Do you think
just
that
have
kind of like it
differences.
hurts the cause though, that you don't want to speak up and kind of give him your perception? Because I feel like that we learn from each other, and that's one thing that I have had to learn in the last several years, because I was never really into politics because I was one of those people like, oh, it doesn't affect me and our votes don't count here in Utah. But as I've gotten older as an adult, you start to care more, and then you start to kind of open your eyes and see what's out there, because now look where we are now. We are so into the community. We want to make sure that everyone's getting well taken care of.
Right.
You know, so this is a long journey for me. And then now that I'm married to my husband, who is way into politics, which I respect and understand, because that's my way of learning.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
but I hate that
absolutely.
confrontation too,
Yeah.
because I don't know how I'm gonna end up. You know what I mean? Because I'm a very passionate person. That's an old Lynn, no. But it's great to have these conversations. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just asking you that, because I just kind of wanted to know what your stance was on that, because it's easier to not engage, especially because you kind of have to read the room and who you're talking to.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You definitely have to read the room. Yeah. I don't speak like on my thoughts on that, because I also feel like if I'm not super informed, I'm not going to sit there and speak like about something and be like,
That's fair.
hey, I think this, and I have no idea what's
Like, well, I saw on Facebook.
well, I was scrolling and then I happened to see something, you know, to me, that's what I say. But I respect when somebody is, you know, into that and they know what they're talking about and they're sharing their thoughts and feelings. I just won't have a difference in opinion to that, because they know so much more to speak on it.
Right. And
you know
sometimes
what I mean?
it's just easier not to like waste that energy, because you know that you're not going to get anywhere because with that person. 'Cause
Right.
I've been in those conversations many a times. But I am now a new person, you know, where I'm willing to open my heart and my mind. Well, I've always been open, you know what I mean? But just like when it comes to politics. But anyways, so it's great to have him on the show just so we can understand it better. And now that me and Crystal know that there's a Pacific Islander month in August.
Yes, I'm
So
so
we'll have a
excited.
big show. We're like,
well,
pow,
for
pow,
Utah,
pow.
you know, I'm excited for Utah that we have that, because that makes me feel good that our representation here, at least in this state, is showing.
See,
Like,
we're gonna
that's
have
a step for
the
me.
former Miss Tausala Anastasia come back, and so she can do a SIVA. Because the last one, I was the only one out there. I'm the reason why P.I. should be taking all AAPI when it came to the SIVA.
Oh, and speaking of that, congrats to the Miss Tausala America. I
Miss
saw that
Tausala
there's a new
America.
one.
I would say your name, but I want to butcher it by all the small and get dragged, but
Yes.
it's all good. But you are beautiful. We were following, and all the contestants, congratulations on your journey, because it is not easy to get up there on stage.
Yeah, not only just get up there on stage, to be modeling, to be walking, to be, you know,
Answering
just
questions.
Things. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I hate answering questions, especially on the
Okay,
spot.
like, wait, you know, I could work though, you know, but no, so that is, congratulations to Miss Tausala. We can't wait to see what the journey is going to be like the next year. And congrats to Anastasia for being the former Miss Tausala. You are amazing, and we hope to have you guys both on the show to kind of get the feedback from both of you.
Yeah. Now
But still, speaking of the Miss Tausala, we have, I think it's the Fia Fia.
Oh yeah,
night
Fia night?
Yeah, the Fia Fia night that's put on by Natanua, and that's going to happen tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Also, we are powered by GetMedCard Co.
That's right.
Which is getmedcard.co online. You guys can get your card, and I believe they have a $70 discount if you guys need to get one, you should go there now.
And we
it's
heard
the
it might
easiest
even
and
get
quickest
lower
way.
than that, but just stay tuned for that because it is the easiest and quickest way to get your medical card.
Also, things that are going on in our events, we have the plant and sip.
That's right. I'm
Our
like, say it, girl.
plant
Say it. I'm like, jump up,
We
up,
have
up.
our
I'm a girl for your event. Tell us about
I'm all reading it. Tomorrow, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I think it was the beginning of a plant and sip moment when we were drinking status.
Girl, I don't drink.
When we were sipping
I
status.
drank. I'm just kidding. No,
And
yeah, when
speaking of
status
status-
was here. Speaking of status, hola.
Hola.
Just doing big things out
I
there. We saw you in that
know.
magazine, girl.
Big
Come on, Food and
congrats.
Wine magazine. Congrats to that. We are so excited to
So excited.
see you doing big things. We can't wait till you come here to Salt Lake.
I know. We can't wait.
It's gonna be good. But anyways, let's get back to that plan. So
Yeah, the plant and sip. I mean,
let's get back to it. She just trying to like go over that one real quick. Tell us about the plans. I've been to one of the plant sips at Kaipo, which was amazing. Kind of take us through what everyone should be expecting and what comes with it and like pricing and all that fun stuff.
Yes. Plant and sip is where we're literally just doing a plant workshop, kind of like the idea of a paint and sip, where you are doing an activity and you're sipping whatever your beverage of choice is. With the plant and sip, it's a plant workshop, so we're going over basic houseplant care, and then you're also being guided through a repotting of the plant that you get to choose and take home with you. So it's just more kind of getting you on the journey of plant parenthood, and then also being comfortable enough to take your plant home and not fear it's going to die immediately.
Right.
And that's just
Because I know y'all have some brown plants. Okay.
and that's okay. We all did. We all have some, and I do too. But yeah, it was just kind of getting.
But thanks to
people
Crystal,
into
look,
it.
we are surrounded by beautiful, green, shiny plants brought to you by everyday people. And Cindy.
Cindy, yes, we're feeling the jungle vibes. But yeah, that's what it is. Coming in to just learn
It
and
is
then
because
take your plant home.
right
and-
because you're gonna have the soil. Everyone's
Yes.
gonna really be hands-on.
yeah,
So
you're
if
gonna be
you can't
hands
get
on
your
in the
hands
dirt.
dirty.
Yeah.
Stay home or just come and have a drink.
Yes, exactly. Come and have a drink because, Manny's is always going to be a good time. And then right after that, if you don't have anything to do and you've been sipping too long, stay for the comedy
Pow,
show.
pow. Yes, and then there's going to be a comedy show at Manny's Neighborhood Bar also after her event from 7
Yes.
to 9. And then I'll be running karaoke at 9 o'clock to close just an hour later once that
See?
the funny man is done.
So you could just literally just have the rest of your day there. Why
Yes.
not?
But if you
I'm
guys
so
haven't been
excited.
following Crystal, she's just been a busy, busy, busy woman. Tell us about your collaboration last
Oh my
night.
gosh, the collaboration last night was so amazing. I'm wearing my black and white themed shirt, which went with Dunked. Dunk's Theme Dunk invited me to do a pop-up at their shop, and literally this was all planned and executed within a week.
Wow.
So it's just been a busy week. I'm dead tired right now, but it was great. We had some great people over there. The vibes and everything is always
I saw your photos, a couple of
beautiful.
photos. The energy just looked really great just through
Yeah.
the photo. It was clean. It was so spacious.
Everything. And then my cousin is Lieta, the owner of Dunked, and she is literally a very detail-oriented person. All the way down to the bags that people took their plant home in, to the trays that they had. Every single detail was planned out by Dunk.
I mean,
literally
and their
just
cookies are amazing.
showed it. Yeah, and then they
Okay.
also released their new dessert. So go try it out if you guys are in Lehigh or Saratoga area.
Wait, you lost me at dessert. Go back. What kind of dessert? What kind of dessert?
Dubai. So they just released their Dubai
I have
desserts.
I've not tried that.
Any of them.
No.
Okay, you need to.
No need to scream.
It's Dubai chocolate with pistachio cream.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all melted, and then they have strawberries. They got chocolate cake. They got cheesecake.
Look
they
how her
have
face is. She's like,
yeah, I'm like,
they got
and then they got this
chocolate,
and that.
they got
That's how
ube,
you
they
feel.
got everything.
That's how you feel
Wow, that's all I got to do is make a
And then they
smile
got
talking
cookies.
about dessert. Okay.
too. Chocolate, yes.
No, but I have not had Dubai, so I can't wait to try it. But anyways, go ahead.
Yes. But that's what it is. It's just that big craze. It's a limited time thing. So that's where we came in with that same thing. So yeah, it was great.
Oh my gosh,
Tired.
I've only tried because where is Dunk Cookie first off? What's
It's
the location?
in Saratoga Springs. I don't know the exact address.
That's
but
why
you
I
can look
haven't
it
been
up.
there
It's on
yet.
the
But I'll be
internet.
there. No, but we'll have their information on our social media as well. But
Yeah.
that collaboration looked amazing. You're just busy. You were everywhere. I saw that you had your little pink your pink stand, or what do you call it? The trailer?
My trailer.
At
my
Revive.
little
And that's
pinhole
just right down the street from my
trailer.
house.
Revive has worked with me since last year. So when
Sweet.
I actually just approached them online and I was like, hey, I'm a little small business. I'm a pink trailer. I think it goes
that's a
with your
perfect
pink
spot.
business. And I was like, and I'd love to do a plant pop-up just to show you what we have. And she was like, yes, I love it. Come and do it. And I love them. So shout out to Marley at Revive. I mean, she's probably not
And it's
gonna be
a cute
watching
little
this, but-
building. It's an old, I think, historic house, one of the original houses
Yeah.
on 900 South, which is it's blowing up
It's
in that area.
completely, 9th South.
Yes.
Wow, that's an amazing neighborhood.
I mean, we were struggling through the construction, but we're okay now. Now that it's open and all the cute shops are there.
Yeah, I love that for you guys.
You know, I was sitting in a
literally-
coffee shop the other day, and I'm like, dude, do you do pop-ups at coffee shops?
I try to. I hit them up.
Girl, I'm gonna help you get into that because that would be such a perfect spot because everyone's sitting there drinking coffee, chasing butterflies anyways.
Yeah.
Why not turn and look for a butterfly on one of the plants?
I mean, because I'm just learning. So I have been hitting up coffee shops. I hit up the one that's literally across the street from Revive, which
Loki.
is called Loki. Yeah. I
Yes.
hit them up and I was just like, hey, I haven't heard anything, but that's okay. They have a lot of vendors, so I applied online too.
Girl,
but
I'm gonna help you with that because I think that would be such a perfect spot. Pop-up, plant
Absolutely.
pop-up at a coffee shop.
That's exactly what I think.
Dang, I
think
should be your
plants,
agent,
coffee,
girl. Come on,
everything.
come on, let's go. I'm the Planter Pop-Ups agent, Lynn.
At gmail.com. That's
At
his email.
gmail.co. Okay, come find me in Bountiful. No, but that's a lot of fun. But we also have Breaking Bread. That's going to be
Yeah.
sponsored by Pictar, among other sponsors. And that's going to be this Saturday, the 17th, 11 a.m. prep if you want to go and volunteer. But serving at 1 o'clock, get to their social media or to ours to see the flyer there as well.
Yep. And then also for next week, we have the NTAS Community Resource Fair. So that's going to be May 23rd and 24th. So if you guys need any assistance with citizenship paperwork or getting started or even where to begin, if you know somebody that needs it in your family, you guys should reach out, check them out online to get that information. And that's for the National Tongan American Association.
And they be doing a lot of things for the community, which
Yeah.
I love because now that I'm following them as well, you know, especially on our social media, I am just so proud of what they're doing for the community. They've been around for like 30 plus years, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's amazing. That's literally amazing.
Where were
think
you
that's
30
great.
years ago?
I was just born, so.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I was a
okay.
baby. I was an infant.
She clapped back real quick. She like, I wasn't even born.
That's where, okay?
Okay. I was 4 days old.
Brand new out the womb, so
Brand new
that's
at
all
the
you
womb,
need to
and
know.
that's the NTAS. Let's get it. No, but NTAS, thank you for always doing many, many, many great things. And then everybody, it's very, very important that if you need this type of resource, that you do reach out to them.
Yes.
Shoot them a DM, even if you just have questions, because I know there are a lot of us out there that could probably use this help or just to
Yes.
stay informed.
Exactly. Another shout out or another event happening is the Rose Park Family Barbecue on May 24th, next week Saturday. And I understand they also opened that up to anybody.
Yes, so
just
Rose
come
Park,
and
they
enjoy.
always be doing big things, and this is an annual barbecue that they have that's sponsored and brought to you by the community of Rose Park, but it is for all neighborhoods,
To come and
towns,
enjoy.
and just to come enjoy, play some football, play some games. But I think one of the requirements on there is like if you do come with your family or a group of friends, that you just bring your own grill. And then you can barbecue all day, all night, and listen to the amazing music. 'Cause I think DJ Parkboy Jim is going to be there as well. So
That's pretty awesome.
check out Hiku. Go to their page and look up for all the information and details on that. Or you can go to Everyday People and you can see that information there as well.
I think that's all of our events.
I know.
Did you
Now
have
we're like,
anything going
oh,
on?
that's good.
I know, I
Well,
was like-
you know. Well, I'm gonna. You need to come see me do my karaoke.
I know.
I am there this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Leroy, Cindy, if y'all ain't doing anything. 3 days. So yeah, I'll be there at Manny's Neighborhood Bar this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, like we were saying, it's gonna be a long weekend for the both of us.
Oh, yeah.
When's your next event? Or your
This-
pop-up, because you're popping up everywhere.
Literally this Saturday as well before Land Zip. So this Saturday I'll be popped up at Roots Coffee & Co. from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And then you're coming to us?
And then I'm coming to you.
Dang.
Yes. So I'm going to be tired.
It's gonna be hot. Just rip off one of those big leaves and just fan yourself coming to the next event. We're like, all right. Oh, Leroy said, don't
Nope,
touch
not
our
those
plants.
plants. Sorry, we're not touching any of them.
No, but it's going to be a great event. And also, Nua has a fundraiser that's going on to help support their
Oh
organization.
yeah, Pani Popo.
Pani Popo. And I ordered 2 trays that I'm going to bring to your
love it.
event. I'm going to do a regular, and then I've got a tray of ube.
Oh my
Pani
gosh,
Popo.
we love ube.
Am I saying Pani Popo right? How do you say it in Samoan?
Pani Popo.
Pani Popo. Come on,
Sweet,
isn't that Samoan? I just wanted to
Pani
make sure I
Popo.
said it right, because I swear it's spelled different on.
It's not panty poo.
Pani
Why are you
Popo.
coming for me, Leroy? He said it's not Pani Popo. I got your panty. You set yourself up for that one. Okay.
I walked into that one, my bad.
No, but yeah, I'm just so excited. We have a lot going on
so
this weekend.
excited, I
And
know.
Crystal is amazing. And your social media,
You're
you just be
amazing.
popping up everywhere.
I feel like because it's spring and summer. Where's spring?
Where?
Where's spring? Okay, summer's coming. I don't know where spring is. But like this is the time, like this is the actual time. So I'm just excited to be outside. I'm excited to just be anywhere.
Right.
June is going to be a busy month. We're doing summer festivals in June. So every weekend in June, I think I have a summer festival happening. So
Wow. And I think it's starting to get warmer. I think everyday people, we have a lot of things up our sleeve.
yeah.
That's going to be amazing throughout the rest of the year that we're excited to
Oh, so
get
excited.
into. But it's a secret. But we got you. We got you.
stay tuned and you'll find out.
Stay tuned and we'll find out. And let's give a shout out to Royal Lounge. We see you
Yes,
out there making
Royal
new
Lounge.
business partnerships. So
Huge.
that's awesome. Can't wait to see your ads driving down the street.
I
It's
know,
gonna be
and then the
amazing.
speaking Spanish, I didn't even know she spoke Spanish. Faith?
¿Qué?
Was it Faith?
¿Qué?
Yeah, she was going off in Spanish the whole time, and I was like, wait, is she Spanish?
Oh, not me. When I was watching it, I was like, oh,
she speaks
see,
Spanish the whole
see,
time.
I got
love
you. Yes,
that.
yes, see.
We love a bilingual, trilingual business owner. And speaking of business owners, it's AAPI month, so just reminding everybody to go out and support your local Polynesian businesses, all of them,
right.
Manny's as well, and everybody else. Go out there and support your PI community. You heard from Jake. We're a small percentage out there, so go out there, get your food.
Like and share.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like and share.
We're like, what? They're like and share it. If everybody will click, like, and share it. And make sure that you guys are following us on all of our social media
Including
platforms.
YouTube. Remember, you can
YouTube.
find all our episodes on YouTube, so it's great.
That's right. All right, guys. Thank you guys very, very much. We will see you guys next Friday unless we do a pop-up
Yeah.
somewhere during the week. But we will see you guys next week.
Have a
and
great weekend.
I'll see you guys at Manny's.
Bye.
Excuse me, miss, got a second? I was wondering if you could see the light that you have in this room. Shining so bright, did you notice? See, we've been sharing thoughts and things remotely. And if you're kinda shy, please don't be, girl. You can put your trust in me, you see. You know it's long